InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. Thanks for putting up with me in this after 10 a.m. broadcast. But hey, I'm a little after 1. No worries there. So it's kind of a 10, 1 o'clock, 10 o'clock, similar numerology. Tanya D here, holistic medium and subtle energetic surgeon. And today is Thursday and we're strolling into the weekend. October 21st, 2021. And how was the energy of that full moon? Galactic, right? Kind of felt like the field was a bit wavery. I know for a lot of people, that moon was intense. But as we hold space today for what our personal value is, our self-worth in our sector of relationships or how we relate, it's like the haze between the two realms, seeing into the other world, the inner and the outer, but the old, the outdated, and the new and the uplifted. Just know at the very seams, like if you were to stitch a gown together, you really deserve the uplifted spark kind of self that resides within you. So kind of feel into that and derive the value inside of yourself through that self-realization into your heart center. So it's like being mindful of self-love. And don't mind my on guard. I still have this lovely cold. So it's kind of good that I'm hitting in home. But stay mindful of self-love, the love you really have or should have for yourself. Subscribe to that channel, the self-love channel, and feel the heartbeat of your own narrative, your own self-love. You might really need to cleanse and activate your energetic centers. And the Buttercup meditation is really a simple, friendly way to do that. Not only is it on my website at club.tanyad.tv, but also I most recently just added it to my shop area on What's Up Tanya D, my Facebook page. Might need a little update on that Facebook page at the time, but that's where it's at. Seems to be working. But it's time to boost the communication, our connection with our inner sight, bring some peace with also some balanced energy into the love channel. But we might really, we have this elemental day of Yang, water, tiger, a Ren Yin day. So it's full of Yang energy with Yin all around it. Definitely, I would still bring in the elements of water. There's only one hidden in the branch on the year. It's hidden. It's not in storage. It's kind of hidden, just sitting there. So really ground into water as an element, the spirit of water, the spirit of nature, or the sprites of nature, the fae, the beings, too. So it's really a great day to communicate your heart's desires in relationships, set boundaries of what those expectations are in those relationships, and utilize the energy of nature for growth and higher elevated ideas, that ascension energy. So you might feel all the investments of the foundation to all of your relationships, partnerships, the day-to-day, and literally cascading out into the future ones as well. They're kind of forming together. They're taking shape, kind of like clay, how you can mold clay. So you might have had like a to-do list this morning. My day got a little wonky, but I'm here, right? And of course, I was up at the witching hour, but that's just my new normal, I guess. So really hold space in your heart. Make the decisions through utilizing your feelings. It's the tone, the sound of the intentions that really might create a bit of chaos in your energetic field. Don't take the thread apart, due to a scratch in the record. Hold the tones, hold the notes, the frequency, the vibration, the energy of the intention, and really take it to the sacred heart. So we always seem to get the test of all tests, right? Just to make sure that we truly are in line with the wish, the delish, the dream, with the intention that we really want to set forward. That's where we have to have faith over fear, holding this elevated love space for integrity for ourselves first, mind you. If you literally are trying to manifest a relationship, you might find that you're battling the curve. Like, do you really want this? Maybe you're being tested with a new admirer, some kind of new flavor, something like that. Just utilizing the ingredient of how you feel inside of yourself And what those feelings that resonate, what are they saying about the person that you're relating with? That's the tone of emotions that really needs to be held in space and time. Kind of cradling the emotion like a baby with a nice, yummy blinky with love and trust and protection, and holding faith that it's all going to come together seamlessly, like stitching it all together just perfectly with your heart's intention, the intention of the heart. So some people don't really like affirmations, but affirmations are they're really a great way to do kind of a check and balance with our mind, the system of the mind, our thought processor, it likes to throw the monkey wrench and take the wheel off balance as you're trying to mosey on down the pathway. But, you have to ask yourself, what's the win-win? How can you maintain the balance, keep the harmony along with the peace, right? Inner peace is a narrative. It's a story. So you really kind of, the way you do it is by adding the asset. So it's the ingredient that puts the punch in the flavor, the character, the value. That's the asset, the value. So what is your perception of value or relationship value? Is your relationship valuing you? Are you valuing it? Are you walking a tight line? Is the rope kind of a bit wobbly, not tight at all? Where's the balance in the line, in the thread? So when we frequent the frequency of what we want to create in the manifestation of our relationships, what does that look like for you? Or more importantly, what does it feel like? So that's kind of the gravitational pull. It's when you are in flow of the freedom of those juicy feelings. They're not on lockdown. They're free flowing. So there isn't any resistance or knots in those thread lines of what you feel. You just feel amazing. You sense amazing. The glue is the frequency you need to kind of shift the altitude, if you will, or the attitude of your thoughts. So it's like playing the game of chess, and you're really in the position that really strengthens the ability to really take over the board. So be in the thread lines of repatterning the pathway and opening the door to a new gateway or a new way of protecting your emotional threads through the channel of your heart. So you ultimately want the feelings of those higher octaves, the peace, the joy, the love, the juiciness, etc. on the inside, emanating and resonating on the outside in your day-to-day relationships, out and through your auric field, from your inside energies out, like just bursting on the daily. So within the tone, the sound of the frequency, and all of our energetic centers have seed sounds. They also have a tone. If you're curious about tones, check out Change Your Stars. Find your octave to open and stay in the vibration of your own personal tone, your seed sounds. We all have that magic in there too. So holding the tone to create the magic of attracting cells, my intention, on my online corridor. I'm doing all kinds of juicy fun stuff. Just kind of sending out my own frequency wave. It's generally juicy, the feel-good kinds of feelings. So really be in the threads of your future in those feelings. Hold the note. Sound the sound and holding the tone. And carry or ride the wave into your future. It's like the Merlin effect. That's also in Change Your Stars. I love the Merlin effect. Super cool. More magical, at least for me. So really allow your heart to invest in her future. So that the love and the trust of the galactic universe, God universe, will allow you to really manifest what that is in creation with your life. You're in creation with co-creator, creating the story, ushering in the feeling, the narrative of your soul's story, your prime directive. So really whatever echoes out on its own then becomes the energy that manifests in the day-to-day. And, it, oddly enough, it could be an activity, an idea, the outcome of the emotional threads. Only add this ingredient to our cosmic soup, the flavor, the energy that you want to see or really come back to you in the resonance. So what you flow out kind of returns and is also repeated. So you want the juice to be a higher octave, right? So put the frequency that you want to be returned to you out there. Send love to any and every one. especially the ones that get triggered easily, really, right? They need it the most because they're in a growth period, really. Check out the Energy Body Demystified. I talk about triggers and realigning your reputation as well. Triggers are really a signal that somebody's in a growth or transition or change. So your reputation, to be the being that you wish to be or that you were, maybe you slid some of yourself under the rug. It's already inside of us. It's just you're bringing it out into the outer world, Really be proud of yourself. Pat yourself on the back, really, Just see how far that you've come and then send that frequency into the future. So we actually have quite a few centers online today. We have our third eye, the juice of the juice, the intuitive beacon that guides us like a lighthouse moseying on through the storm. We have the seed sound of Om, the sound of silence for me. But we also have the Sacral online, our emotional channel. We also have the Earth Star. We have the Shamans Portal. You can actually utilize all of these centers together or utilize them singularly. I talk about all of these centers and more vividly in Secrets of the Other World and Change Your Stars, how to kind of merge them. But also, just to add even some extra flavor, our heart as well is online. So we have a variety of centers online that we could play with. So just kind of allow your third eye to pop in the color, and that'll kind of send you to the energy center to navigate to and play with. Even that we're at the end of the season of Libra, we have one more galactic day of recovery. So you could also bring in the throat center as well. So we have a lot of options with the sounds, the colors, just all of it. This is a pretty juicy day to play with. But the animal of the day, we have the crocodile. I'm not sure if I pulled this before, but the crocodile is obviously a wild beast, but it's time to look after yourself a little bit. Hello, listen to me. Instead of nurturing everyone around you, you should be focusing on yourself right now. Find security in your basic survival needs, which, we're kind of there. The alligator reminds us, or crocodile, to look for opportunities to ingest new knowledge and wisdom. That is seriously our third eye beaconing. But it also represents all of the unbridled creative forces of the world, including the fury and the ferocity of reptilian primal energy. So this reptile is the keeper and protector of all knowledge. It's the end of one period in your life and the beginning of something new, which I'm totally gravitating to that energy. If it makes an appearance in your life, you can be sure that this is a new period of growth and regeneration as well. You need to be sure to give yourself time to integrate all of the changes. In other words, keep yourself balanced, harmony, right? As you move through this transition, this period. But it's also possible that the crocodile, the meaning is letting us know that we have been too complacent of, lately. So sure, things have been moving forward, just a bit slowly, but the universe is putting us on notice that it's time to shake things up a bit and get ready for a wild ride. But it also could be maybe letting us know that we need to digest what we have just learned or experienced, or both, and that we need to be sure to integrate everything before moving on to the new. My girlfriend actually has the alligator as a spirit totem. So if you do have the alligator crocodile, it's a gift for bringing harmony into our lives in ways that help you to survive and also prosper. But they also allow others to be their authentic selves and work hard at being your authentic self all of the time. You're usually in touch with your real emotions in any given situation, but also you know and understand what you project emotionally is vital for others to see. And also you have a lot of patience in the chaos of other people's emotions. Those are those thread lines, by the way. and a deeper understanding of what you are genuinely expressing. You're a gifted healer in the emotional realms. So that's pretty stoking. In a dream, similar to the falcon, it's symbolic of freedom, hidden strength, and power, but it's also a forewarning of hidden danger. Someone near you is giving you bad advice and is trying to sway you into a poor decision. Because this reptile can live in water and also on land, they also represent your conscious along with your subconscious and the emotional and the rational, which totally makes sense. It's like something is coming to the surface and you're not, you're on the verge of some new awareness, some new frequency. But also, there might be an aspect of yourself where you're more aggressive. Maybe you have a snappy attitude. To dream that you are chased or bitten by this reptile denotes disappointments in love and business. If you feel that this animal is hunting you in your dream, be aware that someone close to you has made plans to undermine your authority. And oddly enough, when you dream of this reptile in a color like pinks or blues, you could actually expect a new child in your family. So that's pretty stoking. I can't say I've dreamt of one. But, you never know. Let's see. Now, my cards of the day. I went with my Elemental Forces of Nature Oracle deck. So I'm going with the Elemental Realm. The first card I pulled is Energized. It's fire. Fire's our action realm. So in fire, this is where we learn to be dynamic. We claim our personal power to let our light truly shine bright on and feel passionate about life itself. So fire is really, it's about the mysteries of transformation. It's the teacher, literally like alchemy and changing forms, dying of an old part of ourselves and also being born new and fresh. But fire can also rage out of control. It can be volatile. People will express their fear of it getting out of control or in the way even. So just learning with fire, meditating with fire, sitting by a fire, crackling fire. It's this skill that we can use, but we do need to focus, meditate kind of. It's consciousness. It's consciously aware. It waves as well, if you've ever really tuned into a fire. So it's this balance that truly is a key to open the door to working with fire. It's like literally opening the door to not just fire as an element, but the spirit of fire. But it's calling us to live a more dynamic, a more powerful, passionate life from our core, our radiant core, the center of our heart, our beacon. So I would say working effectively with the path of fire really requires us that we honor the sacred energy of fire, the teachings of fire, different tools, but also finding ways to forge and merge those gifts along with the messages from other realms within our everyday awareness, but do those energized, So do you know energized is juiced with our inner fire power, like energized juiciness, where we are more vibrantly alive and we run an abundance of that life force, organic, holistic energy. So when you follow your passion and find ways that really enliven your beingness, your spirit, you're energetically engaged in life and the aspects of life. So for you, ask yourself, how can fire assist you to become energized? And also, in life and in your day-to-day life, what that looks like. Where is your fire? Are you controlling it or somebody else? Your passion happens all the time, right? I think we're all creative forces. And then I pulled spirit upliftment. So spirit, it's the spark that we all have within us, our connection to the goddess or the god, spirit. We all have spirit. So this connection to spirit is where the energy of creation lives. It's the spiritual realm, and it gets ignited, fire. It's our inner connection to spirit that's really our guiding light throughout life to bring our own essence into this fullest expression into the physical world. So within it, it carries the substance, the richness that flows through and connects all of the elements and all of our beingness: earth, water, air, star, fire, nature, just all the juice, right? So spirit really enables us through these elements to kind of hold our world in a form or a shape, both in the inner and actually the outer realms. So it's the unseen ingredient that these elements are actually working together for all of creation. And what do they add to the cosmic soup, to the bowl, to the pot? So when you sit quietly in nature, and all, hopefully you do, or reflect on your own inner nature, you can really truly feel your own substance, your own ingredients of your own spirit. But this card, upliftment, that's an energetic function of lifting our energy up, like boosting it in a way. And there's a variety of ways of raising the frequency and the vibration of our life. So you can uplift with gratitude and appreciation. You can uplift by being in nature, admiring nature, even by gently placing your energy under another energy, like we did with the full moon. Those were like merging those two energies and really asking it to be uplifted. You can do it by meditation and so much more, just whatever you're called to. But just start noticing what raises your energy and what lowers it, and notice what is uplifting, rising above for you as well. So I might ask yourself, are there aspects of your life that you need to uplift? That's kind of the message here, actually. Where can we uplift our spirit organically and naturally? It doesn't cost anything, right? So then I pulled fire again. Fire, the realm of fire, spark. So this is the vital spark that really creates forward movement. It puts action towards progress, towards the goal. And also it compels the seeds to spring to life, whether they're in the ground, heating up by the sun, or even in our human bodiness. It's also fueled by the fire of passion. So fire is the actual initiator of growth, the activator of life force energy, right? That's fire. So it's like when a seed is placed in the soil, it takes the warmth, fire from the sun, yang fire, the heat from that, to spark in the soil to give birth, germination, for that to happen. Plus, you got water, you got a few other things happening, but it's the initial spark. So our inner fire really activates the seeds of our heart's desires. Just like creating a baby, there's a fire that sparks the passion to ignite the seed, the merging. In essence, it really is the small things that create the bigger things. And you need to take baby steps and to create and manifest. So when you're all fired up about like accomplishing a goal, you're excited, you're realizing a dream, tremendous feats occur with little effort on your part because you got the passion, right? It's easy when you're loving what you're doing. So now you kind of want to ask yourself, what is the fire sparking in your life? Or what does it need to spark to come to life? What do you need to germinate? What do you need to add an asset to, or an ingredient? So I would really apply today's messages to the realm of your relationships or partnerships. We're at the end degrees of Libra, partnerships, relationships, self and others. So where do you need to light the fire, the passion, stir the alchemy in the pot to transform your relationships? All ways of relating, all the ways. So if a relationship makes you feel less than worthy, is the struggle worth the outcome? I don't want relationships that really piss on the treasure, which is me. I am the treasure, and so are you. So if you don't like what I have to offer or somebody else, I'm just using a narrative, there's tons of villagers that you can relate with that are like-minded and are going to boost your frequency. So open that door, take in the juice, receive the abundance of a win-win in your relationship sector, and love what you are fired up to create with passion. Set it in the flow, get it in motion, nurture your greatest asset, which is really, that's ourselves ultimately. and hold the tone, the frequency for the feeling, the thread lines of that feeling, to carry that out in the waves into the galactic universe, and then have it returned with the greatest feeling of all. That's the feeling you put out there, and the magic wand of fire and spirit return the bounty. The cards I pulled today, that's the essence, fire. It's amazing, actually, just thinking about fire and star and spirit coagulating and all mirroring together. So an affirmation to say to get you on your way would be like, I affirm I trust myself. I absolutely love and adore myself. And I am manifesting the greatest joy of all time. So with that, thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry I was a little late today, but baby steps. Some days have that coagulation. And as always, I'll see you on the other side, which would be tomorrow. So make it a magical rest of your day. InShalla. Ashe.